A Jan 6th insurrectionist lawyer and personal lapdog for Elon Musk has been chosen to be the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, Ed Martin. He's been the acting interim U.S. Attorney for D.C. Apparently, if you participate in an insurrection, if you defend insurrectionists, if you have challenged ethics, which I'll describe in this hot take, you're perfect to be the U.S. Attorney under Donald Trump for the District of Columbia. Let's talk about Ed Martin here on the MeidasTouch Network and on Legal AF. Ed Martin represented a number of Jan 6th insurrectionists. He participated and gave a speech at the Ellipse on January 6th. In fact, back to the challenged ethics aspect of his legal career, as the interim U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, he actually signed his name to a motion to dismiss charges against one of his clients when he was in private practice, right? Jose Padilla, or Joe Padilla, who was indicted for attacking two law enforcement, one with a flagpole that he hit the cop in the head in his helmet. And when there was time to dismiss it, Ed Martin, U.S. Attorney acting, signed the motion to dismiss a case against his client, Joe Padilla. I'm just trying to show you that the Trump administration and the people that he picks for these jobs are completely ethically conflicted. They're so upside down ethically and in a corrupt way that they can't even see clear. I mean, like when you flip sides from defense lawyer to prosecutor, you're not supposed to be trying to benefit your former client. That is a direct violation of our ethics rules as lawyers. The Department of Justice's ethics committee would have investigated this, but who's going to investigate them? Donald Trump has removed all of the watchdogs, all of the ethicists. The government, the government Office of Ethics is gone. Inspectors General are gone. Yeah? Who's going to do the investigating of Ed Martin? So Ed Martin, lapdog Elon Musk. Soon as he got in as acting interim, he decided he was going to try to reach out and protect the DOJ employees. And he sent a series of social media posts directed to Elon Musk telling him, don't worry. If anybody does anything illegal or even unethical, we'll chase them to the ends of the earth. See the retribution, see the weaponization of the Department of Justice by Donald Trump while he gaslights us continuously and says he's not weaponizing. Pam Bondi, his head of the Department of Justice, gets up in front of a podium when she can barely put a sentence together. I mean, seriously, I'd love to see the other side of her teleprompter to see she needs flashcards at this point. But she gets up there and says, it's a new Department of Justice. We're not weaponizing. We're going to be weaponizing the weaponizing. I'm like, what are you even talking about? Just look down the hallway at Ed Martin. He's basically told the world, he has told the world in his postings to Elon Musk that he will, in a retribution fashion, go after people that investigate the Department of Government Efficiency, whatever that's supposed to be. I got news for Ed Martin. Maybe they didn't teach you this in St. Louis Law School or in Missouri when you headed the Republican Party, but we have a First Amendment and freedom of the press. And if we want to take a look at all the people that are on the roster of this government, we're supposed to be a government in the sunshine. We're supposed to be a government in transparency. That's why we have Freedom of Information Act requests and lawsuits related to it. When Donald Trump's not busy fighting off 3,000 or 4,000 lawsuits over the next 4 years, and I think I may be underestimating that number, you can just add to that right next to it a parallel set of numbers related to Freedom of Information Act requests, public records requests, because we're going to have to go after these bastards. Yeah. So let's talk about Ed Martin for a minute here. He posts during the Jan 6th insurrection. Again, I have to question your judgment, Mr. Martin, and your ability to have this job. And I think you're going to have to answer for this when you're actually up in a confirmation process with the Senate. You actually said at the time, in real time, while you were social media posting, rowdy crowd, quote, not out of hand, hashtag fake news. How do you explain 2,000 people being investigated, prosecuted, and indicted and arrested? How do you explain that this rowdy crowd was not out of hand, but over 250 people were injured, including mostly law enforcement. 5 people died as a result of January 6th, including a couple of insurrectionists. One died by a heart attack. The other one was shot and killed, Ashley Babbitt, as she tried to break her way through the speaker's hallway to get inside where elected officials were trying to leave. Does anybody doubt, having watched the Jan 6 insurrectionists, a few of them represented by Ed Martin, now being rewarded with this U.S. attorney position? Does anybody doubt that how they battled in a medieval style on the steps of the Capitol, on the Western Terrace, hand-to-hand combat with outmatched police? Does anybody doubt that if they had broken through the line really and gotten in while elected officials and their staff were still in the chamber, that they wouldn't have blood on their hands, that they wouldn't have killed them? They were trying to kill cops. Law enforcement didn't stop them. The social contract didn't stop them. Long work weeks and busy weekends, month after month, they can leave you feeling and looking depleted. Prolon's program takes the guesswork out and equips you with a science-backed plan, making it a key tool for your health journey. Prolon's fasting mimicking diet is a revolutionary plant-based nutrition program that nourishes the body while making cells believe they're fasting. Researched and developed for decades at USC's Longevity Institute and backed by leading U.S. medical centers, Prolon helps support healthy blood sugar, enhanced skin appearance, fat loss, and improved energy and focus post-fast. It all starts with their 5-day program. Snacks, soups, and beverages designed to keep your body in a fasting state. No guesswork or planning required. 3 consecutive cycles of Prolon have been shown to reduce your biological age score by an average of 2.5 years and your waist circumference by 1.5 inches. Look, when I'm craving a real reset, Prolon is the only nutrition program that works for me. It's convenient, backed by Nobel-winning science, and it works. To help you kickstart a health plan that truly works, Prolon is offering Legal AF by MeidasTouch listeners 15% off site-wide plus a $40 bonus gift when you subscribe to their 5-day nutrition program. Just visit prolonlife.com/legalaf. That's prolonlife.com/legalaf to claim your 15% discount and your bonus gift. prolonlife.com/legalaf. And instead, what is the lesson that you've now been taught, ladies and gentlemen, children out there, by our president, the moral leader of the free world? That you can attack the Capitol and you'll be rewarded with pardons, jobs in my administration, and top jobs in the Department of Justice. Sign me up, I guess. If all you care about is greed and career advancement, the next insurrection led by Donald Trump's group, and we'll have another one, because he's going to lose badly at the midterm elections at this rate. No doubt. No doubt in my mind. Of course, we can't just talk about it here. That's where it starts. Got to go to the voting booths eventually. But if we take out the House and the Senate, and there's another attack on the Capitol as a result, then what's the lesson to be learned? Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll be able to get top jobs in the next administration, the J.D. Vance administration. No, it can't be that. Even Donald Trump doesn't think J.D. Vance is ready to be the president of the United States. So somebody, and we'll get top Department of Justice jobs. Look at all the people in Donald Trump's administration in the Department of Justice. All people that were his criminal defense lawyers or impeachment defense lawyers. Pam Bondi, she did a terrible job. He got impeached. Impeachment defense lawyer. Todd Blanche, I'll do a hot take on him next. Emile Beauvais, his top 2 criminal lawyers. They have the top 2, the 2 and 3 jobs in the Department of Justice. Pam Bondi, impeachment lawyer, top 1 job in the Department of Justice. Yeah, you've got John Sauer, who is his top criminal appellate lawyer, who's going to be the Solicitor General of the United States, the 10th Justice, if you will. This guy, going to be the U.S. Attorney. I want, it's funny. I had a conversation, not funny, sad. I had a texting conversation with a close friend of mine. He's in his 70s and a Republican. I mean, he's an independent, but he was going to vote for Trump, and he did vote for Trump. And I said to him at the time, why and how? He said, I just think he'll be more moderate, and he'll be, he won't overreach, and he'll bring civility back to the White House. And I said, and you think that was missing during the Biden era? And he said, yeah. And now I get a text from him yesterday in which he says, I am not happy with the current state of affairs. This is not what I voted for. I wanted moderation. Well, then you weren't paying attention during the campaign, because he's doing exactly, and the people around him and his henchmen around him, like Stephen Miller, are doing exactly what he said he was going to do. This government is currently run by one person, Donald Trump, with Stephen Miller next to him as his hunting dog in the White House as White House counselor, and Elon Musk. That's it. The rest of these people, they might have the title of Secretary of State, Secretary of the Treasury, Department of Justice, Attorney General. They're not. Even Ed Martin said the quiet part out loud. He said the prosecutors for the Department of Justice are the president's lawyers. The prosecutors for the Department of Justice are the president's lawyers. Where is he getting that from? It's the unitary president theory, the unitary executive branch theory, that all power of the executive branch resides only at the top in the person elected president, and everybody else in that branch, everybody in that branch reports to the president. And so they don't see independence of the Department of Justice as being a good thing. They see it as a weakening of the presidential power. And that's where Ed Martin comes in. Philosophically, he believes in the unitary president and that the prosecutors like him are the lawyers for the president. Now, after Nixon, we thought it'd probably be a good idea to have an independent judiciary. After Hoover ran the FBI as his personal fiefdom, right? And power base, we thought maybe it's a good idea to have these things be independent. An independent director of the FBI, an independent head of the Department of Justice. And sometimes we found it frustrating. Who wasn't frustrated by Merrick Garland and how he ran the Department of Justice? But you couldn't say he was unethical. You might say he was slow on the draw. You might say he made assumptions about the good nature of people that he shouldn't have. He was late in appointing the special counsel. He didn't push them to go fast enough, right? But you can't call Merrick Garland corrupt. Yeah? You might incompetent? Yeah? Not at the velocity at which the moment in history required? Sure. Corrupt? No. Independent? Yes, too independent. Some of us would say too independent. You appointed Robert Hur to be the special prosecutor to go after Joe Biden for documents that he took with him 10 years ago because he's a Republican. You want to be fair and balanced. The Republicans would never do that. So too independent. But say what you want about Christopher Wray when he was the head of the FBI, but a lack of independence was not the problem. So we're going to continue to follow the Ed Martins of the world and what happens to them during the Senate confirmation process right here on the MeidasTouch Network and on Legal AF. I got a new show. It's a podcast. I call it Popok Live. I couldn't come up with anything better because it's me live. And I take questions. I give answers. And I sit at the intersection of law and politics just like this on Wednesdays and Saturdays. We have Legal AF, the OG podcast. That's 8 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube, anywhere you can pick up audio podcast platforms. Popok Live Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. right here on the MeidasTouch Network. And then we got this brand new channel, Legal AF, the YouTube channel, Legal AF MTN from MeidasTouch Network. Help me build that channel to 1 million before our year is over. We're going to be at 500,000 in about another 2 or 3 weeks with your help. And that's, we just got started September 17th. So if you missed out on the original build of MeidasTouch, come over and help us with Legal AF. We need your help. So until my next reporting, I'm Michael Popok. In collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.